Have you ever noticed something strange about your cat? On the days when you're completely fine, they might barely care where you are. But on the day you come home exhausted, crawl into bed, and don't feel like talking to anyone, they suddenly appear. Maybe they sit at the end of the bed. Maybe they curl up beside your legs. Maybe they stare at you for a few seconds before quietly settling down. And sometimes, they don't even ask for anything. They just stay. But here's the strange part. Does your cat actually know you're having a bad day? Or are we simply giving human emotions to an animal that just happens to like your bed? The truth is somewhere in between. Your cat probably doesn't understand your problems the way another person would. They don't know about the argument you had, the email that ruined your afternoon, or the thought you've been replaying in your head all night. But your cat knows something much simpler. They know you, and they've been watching you for a very long time. Your cat knows the sound of your alarm. They know what time you normally get up. They recognize your footsteps before you even enter the room. They know where you usually sit, when you normally come home, and probably the exact sound of the cupboard that means dinner is coming. Your daily routine creates a kind of map in your cat's world, and when something suddenly changes, they can notice. You're quieter. You stay in bed longer. You don't move around the house as much. You don't greet them the way you normally do. You might even spend an hour staring at your phone without doing anything. To you, these things may feel insignificant. To a cat who has spent months or years observing you, they're changes, and this is where things get interesting. Your cat may not understand why you're different, but they can notice that you are different. That alone can be enough to make them come over and investigate. Maybe they walk into the room. Maybe they look at you. Maybe they sit nearby. And then, something happens that has nothing to do with curiosity. They stay. Think about that for a second. Your cat has an entire house to explore. There are sunny windows, comfortable chairs, soft blankets, quiet corners, and probably at least one place where you are absolutely forbidden to know they sleep. Yet sometimes, on the exact day when you're feeling terrible, they choose your side of the room. Why? One possibility is familiarity. You smell familiar. Your voice is familiar. Your presence is familiar. And if your cat has developed a strong attachment to you, being near you may simply feel safe and normal. That's important because cats don't build relationships with us through big dramatic gestures. They build them through repetition. The same person, the same house, the same voice, the same routines, day after day after day. And eventually, without either of you noticing, your presence becomes part of their world. But here's the part I find even more interesting. The comfort may not only be coming from your cat, it may be coming from what happens to you when your cat arrives. Think about what your mind does when you're having a bad day. It goes backward. You replay what happened. You think about what you should have said. Or it goes forward. What if this happens? What if tomorrow is worse? What am I going to do? Your brain keeps moving. Then your cat jumps onto the bed. And suddenly, you notice something else. The sound of their purring, the warmth beside your leg, the tiny movement of their paws, the way they stretch before curling back into a ball. For a moment, your attention leaves your thoughts and returns to the room you're actually in. Your problem hasn't disappeared. Your cat hasn't solved anything, but your brain has been given something else to focus on. And sometimes, that little interruption is exactly what you needed, not an answer, just a pause. And maybe that's one reason cats can become such an important part of our lives without us realizing it. They don't require us to be interesting. They don't care whether we've had a productive day. They don't need us to explain why we're upset. You can spend the entire evening under a blanket, doing absolutely nothing, and your cat may look at you as if that's perfectly acceptable. Because to your cat, you're still you, the same person who feeds them, the same person whose footsteps they recognize, the same person whose voice means something familiar. You don't have to perform for them. And on a difficult day, that can feel strangely comforting. But don't expect every cat to become your personal emotional support animal. Some cats will jump straight into your lap. Some will sit 3 feet away and silently supervise your breakdown. Some will rub against your leg and immediately walk away like they have more important business to attend to. And some will look at your sad face and think, "Have you considered feeding me?" That's normal too. Cats have different personalities. Some are intensely affectionate. Some prefer a little distance. Some show attachment by following you everywhere. Others show it simply by choosing to sleep in the same room. So if your cat doesn't come running when you're upset, it doesn't mean they don't care. Their relationship with you may simply look different. And that brings us to something people often misunderstand about cats. We sometimes expect love to be obvious. We expect affection to look like cuddling, licking, or constantly following us around. But with cats, some of the most meaningful moments are incredibly ordinary. Your cat waiting outside the bathroom, sleeping on the chair while you work, following you into the kitchen, sitting nearby while you drink your morning coffee, walking into the bedroom when you turn off the lights. None of those moments looks important until one day you realize you would miss every single one of them if they weren't there. That's when you understand something. Your cat hasn't just become part of your routine. They've become part of what makes your routine feel like home. And maybe that's why their presence can feel so powerful on a bad day. They don't need to understand your entire life. They don't need to know why you're hurting. They don't need to give you advice. They simply bring something familiar into a moment that feels unfamiliar. And sometimes that is enough. So the next time you're having a terrible day and your cat suddenly appears beside you, don't worry too much about figuring out exactly what they're thinking. Maybe they noticed that your behavior changed. Maybe they were curious. Maybe they wanted warmth. Maybe they just liked the spot you were sitting in. We can't read their minds, and honestly, that's part of the mystery that makes living with cats so fascinating. But we do know this. Your cat has spent a huge part of their life learning your world, and you've spent a huge part of yours learning theirs. You know the sound they make when they're hungry. You know which treat they prefer. You know when they want to be left alone. You know the little look they give you when they're about to do something they're probably not supposed to do, and they know you too. Maybe not in the complicated, human way we understand one another, but through thousands of tiny observations. Your footsteps, your voice, your habits, your presence. And when that presence suddenly feels different, your cat may notice. So perhaps your cat doesn't come to you because they understand exactly what broke your heart that day. Maybe they simply notice that their person is quieter than usual, and they choose to be nearby. That's a much simpler kind of connection. And maybe, in a strange way, it's more beautiful because of it. Because sometimes comfort doesn't arrive with the perfect words. It doesn't tell you that everything will be okay. Sometimes it walks quietly into the room, jumps onto the bed, turns around 3 times, steals the warmest spot, and starts purring. Your cat may never understand exactly what happened to you that day, but they may still become part of the reason you make it through the evening a little more peacefully. And years later, you might not remember what caused that terrible day. You might forget the argument, forget the email, forget what you were worried about, but you may remember one tiny detail. Your cat was there. And maybe that's what makes the bond between a cat and their person so special. Not that they can fix everything, but that, in their own quiet way, they can make a difficult moment feel a little less lonely. If your cat has ever quietly stayed beside you when you needed them most, give this video a like as a small thank you for all those silent moments. And subscribe if you'd like more stories about the quiet, beautiful bond between cats and the people who love them.